Show. Yeah, that's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks, to What Are Your Expectations for 2025 Notre Dame football edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, thanks for being here. You can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps the Honey Boy out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can get it. Don't want to see my face. Nobody blames you. Call-in lines. 312-988-15. Dialed up. Tell Uncle Johnny Boy all you've heard and seen. This is going to be the topic of the Wednesday show. Mark with glasses. Great idea. Great topic. Juicy. And I don't know if there's a good answer. Notre Dame Fighting Irish brought to you by SI. Read all about it. Patreon.com/AlwaysIrish. Former captain, leading tackler Mike Goolsby and myself breaking it all down. Thanks to everybody who's there year round. Appreciate you. Here's the deal. This is tough. This is tricky. I don't have a good answer. Let's look at the dynamic we're working with here, okay? When you ask what are the expectations for this team in 2025, do you look at it as 2025 Notre Dame is in this vacuum, a standalone operation with new moving parts, new players, new coaches, new GM, new quarterback, new DC, whatever, new running back coach, all this stuff? Are you looking at that in a vacuum, in its own one-year time capsule, and looking at our schedule and the parts you like about the team or you're nervous about the team and basing this off that? Or does 2024 have a lot to do with influencing you on what the expectations for 25 are, right? Like, when I do this exercise in my own head and ask what are those expectations for this next year, it is hard for me to not include some carryover from 2024. And I don't know how much of it should carry over or not, or if that's fair to do to the program and Freeman or not fair. I don't know. But the issue is, you made it to the final game of the year. If that is the new bar of expectation, man, that's hard to reach, right? Like, if you're saying, I'm riding off 2024 and all the things you accomplished and whatever, and like you set a new standard or whatever, for Notre Dame to do that again, if that is your expectation, and anything lower than that is a failure, you need Notre Dame to win 6 major postseason games in a 2-year period, where before that, Notre Dame has not won 1 major postseason game for 3 decades in a row, 30 years when you add it all together. Like, I understand the argument, though. It's like you built this program to get to a certain level, and you made it all the way to the final game of the year. That is the new bar. That's a very, very high standard of what will be acceptable to you, making it to the final 2 in a 12-game playoff, literally winning 6 playoff games in the 2 calendar years where you haven't won 1 major bowl game in the last 30 years combined. That is a tough standard to meet. And I don't know if that's fair or not. But you know what also seems weak to me? See, this is where, if you're a Notre Dame fan in your mind, you get kind of boxed in here. It's a lot to ask that the new standard is at least making it to the championship game. But you know what I don't have in me either? I don't have in me to say, Yeah, if you make the playoff, but you lose round one, maybe you don't get a home game and then you go somewhere tough and you lose round one or whatever. And like, that's a success because you made it to the playoff 2 years in a row in the 12-team format. And that's a success to me or whatever. Like, it's going to be hard to get me documented to say that I will call anything a success that doesn't match last year's level. But again, I just don't know whether that's fair or not. And the other thing that's tricky about this is you have all these moving new parts, man. You look at that quarterback dynamic alone. You're going to have a new quarterback, the new starter, tough front end of the schedule at Miami to start, like whatever, man. This is a very, very tough question to answer. I do not have it in me to be like, you know what? We have a new quarterback and we start at Miami and then Texas A&M. It'll be okay if you lose a couple games this year, whatever. Like, no one wants to lower that standard, but the bar is set at making the championship game. What is the reality of this? What is a realistic, fair expectation for this program the year after you made this run and made it to the championship game and fell short? Acknowledging you're going to have some moving pieces, some inexperience at the most important position in the sport, most important individual position in all sports, in my opinion, quarterback. How does and should a Notre Dame fan weigh all of these things and come up with a fair answer of what's an acceptable outcome next year? I don't have the answer. I don't have a good answer. So I want to know what you guys think as far as when you balance all this, what is going to be your expectation for a success? What is going to be your definition of a successful season in 25? Just making the playoff, winning a game, you got to win 2 games? Or are you saying a standard was set and we got to get all the way to where we did last year to show that you're maintaining and not regressing? And you're going to tell me, John, I don't care about the new moving pieces or whatever. There's enough in the program. You got to get to that level again. I don't know. This is good and bad. It's good and bad. It is good that you're even in your mind saying we made it to the championship game. That's a realistic standard. But it's also dangerous because of the beginning half of this schedule and all the moving parts of like where your mind is at on what this all should and may look like. So I think maybe Wednesday, that'll be the topic of the show. Let's go over what you think the expectations and how we would define a good year, what that's going to look like. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you got to get to the same level as last year and anything less is a failure to you? How do you do? It's a new age calculation. It's a new age calculation in this 12-team playoff, how you're going to calculate and define out this success or failure. Let me know how you guys are thinking about it in your minds. We'll talk about it Wednesday. Don't forget to check out the merchandise. The link is in the description. You can browse and carouse all the different Always Irish gear. Make sure you head over there and get something for the next tailgate. Thanks for being here.